All I wanna see, all I wanna hear, people dying and screaming full of fear, and I'm for the night. Tooth. And I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Now go tell your mama, tell your daddy too. They drove me crazy, telling me the truth. Said I've only lied, way too fat. And I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Well, I started picking, I guess, when I started watching Flat and Scruggs on television and the Arthur Smith Show back in Western North Carolina. And, Arthur Smith was credited, and so were his attorneys, to mocking banjos, which is we know as diddling banjos. But anyway, so if there was a guitar picker on television, and then I'd grab, as my uncle, rest his soul, would call it, old hound dog, and try to learn how to pick along a little bit. But that piece of Clorox jug kept falling out of my fingers, the pick thing. But and listening to the radio, like most of us in here, are on the cusp of middle age, except for a couple of fine young men, and all these pretty girls, but us boys here are on the cusp of middle age, and used to pick up WLS out of Chicago in the early mid-'60s on Skip, which was when, I'm not an authority, but your local stations may be turning up the power during the day, the watts, 50,000, 100,000 watts, and then at nighttime in Western North Carolina as a child, then the power would go down locally, and then the big stations like WOWO, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and WQUT, Johnson City, Bristol, Kingsport, would come in on a small transistor radio and at a low volume, and it would get to you. It'd make you tap your foot and move your head. So that was also inspiring to me to try to learn to play the guitar a little bit. Christmas tree lights burn in the daytime, the sun shines bright in the valley below. The wind cuts through you like memories do her, and the words of December got no place to go. Prayed on her knees, cried in the bedroom. 81 years left a spark in her eyes. She was ready and willing to die any minute. She tried to help me, Lord knows she tried. What's done has been done in different possessions. Their service a while, soon tossed by the way. The blood of my past still runs warm and tender, and the words of December got no place to go. Free spirits shiver on the road to freedom, ain't living a dream and leaving what's right. Conscience of winter freezes plenty, and the words of December got no place to go. Done has been done in different possessions, where they serve us a while, soon tossed by the way. Blood of my past still runs warm and tender, and the words of December got no place to go on. Listen and wonder when church bells are ringing and the ground is crackling and frozen below. Sunshine don't matter in the distance you're after. In the words of December, got no place to go. All had been done in different possessions. Service a while, soon tossed by the way. The blood of my past still runs warm, tender. In the words of December, got no place to go. What's done has been done in different possessions. Service a while, soon tossed by the way. Blood of my past still runs warm, tender. In the words of December, got no place to go. Thank you. Well, people ask me about my style, and I say, well, I'm just trying to hone down desperation, but there's a lot of folks that I've listened to over the years, and more so these years because I have a better chance to remember it. Some of the music from Charlie Patton to Mississippi John Hurt and to Tony Arata in Nashville, whom I met, who's a wonderful guitar player and really a songwriter, but mostly he was a dear friend, and as many folks in Nashville, Tennessee, who played percussively and also with their fingers and without any picks, because it's hard to keep up with your pencils and your cigarettes and and your shoelaces and stuff when you got all these picks and all this other paraphernalia that's tugging at you, So as far as a style, I ain't got one, man. It's just a culmination of all the people that we've listened to for many, many years and long before me. Rain came down and the bottom fell out and the front door slammed in my face in the cold. Older than time, the east side's swimming in the stench of the devil, oh, a few too many. Swift time passes and the pages tear, one hand to another and another despair. Some thrown out of windows, teeth do tell. Some dead on arrival when the sirens wail. Maybe some have a choice in a low-down moment, making change in the morning when the dreams are broken. Swift time passes and the pages tear, one hand to another and another despair. Well, the flesh gets messy with a smile and a nod on the hooks of a dealer to the grace of God. Swift time passes and the pages tear, one hand to another and another despair. Swift time passes and the pages tear, one hand to another and another despair. One hand to another and another despair. Yeah. Well, people ask me, they say, does your music have a darker side to it? And I say, well, life's not a bed of roses, but it depends on what kind of seeds we plant, and sometimes I have a good garden, a good garden. Sometimes I don't. But I mean, a lot of it has to do with my attitude, and uh, so it's kind of like sometimes I'm in purgatory and on the fence, and so when I'm on that fence looking on one side, then I try to take a good look at it, and then maybe it'll just push my rear end over to the other side so I don't fall back into that briar patch, so so the moral of the story is if your dog tells you what to do and his lips don't move, don't do it.
All I want to see, all I want to hear, people dying and screaming full of fear, and I'm for the night, to that. And I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Now go tell your mama, tell your daddy too. They drove me crazy, telling me the truth. Said I've only lied to that. And I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Had myself women, got all I could drink. Liquor kept me swimming and my head too big to think. Said I've only died 242 that. And I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Yeah, the big man spends my money, big man lives it up. You don't give me nothing, nah, you don't give me some, just an eye for an eye. 282 I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Sit around the table, pray down on the floor. Swear I'm gonna go to war, suffer nevermore. I'm going to I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. I sit around the table, pray down on the floor. Swear I'm gonna go to war and suffer nevermore. I for what I to I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Lord, is it I for what I to I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. You know, I ain't learned nothing but the poor me pitiful blues. Thank you.
Well, people ask me about, how I put songs together, and I usually think to myself, I wonder how much they've been drinking. And but I mean, seriously, it's I honestly believe everybody's a songwriter. You know, whether we're carrying tales on the front porch or the back porch, or you know, whispering in the bedroom, you know, to each other. And that's just what we do. You know, we tell stories. That's what folklore is, folk music. Whether you're Woody Guthrie, rest his soul, traveling all over the country and you know, experiencing life, and so you know, whether you're learning to make a birthday cake or learning to cover your mouth when you sneeze, you know, it's just stuff that we kind of inherit and learn from each other. And so there's a lot of folks that are wonderful poets, writers, authors, but you know, families and folks tell stories, and humans do that. You know, we carry tales. Some of them are true, and some of them may not be quite the truth. What's that? Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. But I'm kind of dodging the bullet here. But if you want corn, you like to eat corn, you got to get out the hose.
It's cool in Savannah, like the last time I know. It's cool in Savannah, like the last time I know. And I feel lost and hurting, and thirsty like before. Now people don't see me when I look 'em in the eye. Ain't nobody don't see me when I look 'em straight up in the eye. They just stare behind my back, don't care about if I die. Now it's raining in Savannah, my bones aching all the time. Raining in Savannah, my poor bones are just aching all the time. That undertaker's mean and ugly, he's a humming in the pines. Now it's a crazy way of dying, sinking low down in my head. It's a crazy way of dying, sinking low down in my head. See, I'm deep below the sunshine, this here's a cold and lonely bed. It's crowded in the ground, and nobody knows my name. Crowded down here in the ground, ain't nobody knows my name. Everybody's in a box, everybody looks the same. Yellow fever's awful bad, and I ain't got no money for a bell. Yellow fever's awful bad, and I ain't got no money for a bell. See, I've been buried here alive, and ain't nobody gonna tell. Thanks a lot, thank you.
Right, that's Savannah Blues and Yellow Fever. Well, my wife and I had a chance to go to Savannah, Georgia. It's a very pretty little town, and she stumped her toe, and it rained like hell for 2 days, and we went on a ghost tour and in the rain, and then we came home. And But, when Sherman was burning down Georgia and everywhere else, during that time period, yellow fever was rampant. And a lot of folks died and were buried in mass graves in Savannah, and I'm sure some other places too. And I don't know a lot about it, but the rich people could have a bell in their coffin. And because one thing about yellow fever is that your breathing is real shallow. And people couldn't tell that you were alive or not because they didn't have the technology and the medical means to tell if you were breathing or not because your breath was so shallow, so they'd go ahead and bury you. And if you had enough money and knew the right people, then you could put a little bell in your coffin. And then if you happened to wake up and start breathing good, it'd be kind of like a coma. But I'm sure you can find out more accurate information. But from what I understand, then you could ring that bell and maybe somebody would hear you and dig you up. But if not, then you're a goner. Swapping stories in Louisville, Kentucky a while back.
Louisville Sluggers, Geronimo, downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar town, the mark on the cover. And the music plays on from a Louisville Slugger. Too many years slipped by, and I whispered but the songs of a picker, and the singer keep living. Name has a face on the lips of a stranger, kindly warm, never forsaken. Louisville Slugger, Geronimo, it was downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar town, the mark on the cover. The music plays on from the Louisville Slugger. Don't remember much of nothing. Happened one night, but we played up some songs in that old barroom light. Soft pillows don't matter when your head keeps a thrashing. Jack told us the truth like it really just happened. Louisville Slugger, Geronimo, it was downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar town, the mark on the cover. Music plays on from the Louisville Slugger. Friends do you favors when you might least expect it, like scattering your ashes underneath some old branches. 7 years passed, 9 apple trees empty to the ashes from a slugger gave one tree plenty. Louisville Slugger, Geronimo, it was downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar town, mark on the cover. Music plays on from the Louisville Slugger. Louisville Slugger, Geronimo, it was downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Rex Bob Loisty and the mark on the cover. The music plays on from the Louisville Slugger. Louisville Slugger, Geronimo, it was downtown Broadway, loud rock and roll. Radar town, mark on the cover. And the music plays on from the Louisville Slugger. The Music plays on from the Louisville Sluggers. Thank you.
Well, we're hanging around this little bar in Louisville, Kentucky, with some friends, and Ben Bullington, rest his soul, was a doctor, and he wrote songs and wonderful songs, and rest his soul. And we were just telling some stories on some friends and laughing, and so I started thinking about this gentleman that I knew, met in Nashville, and but you know, songs mean different things to different people, and so it was just a special story about this gentleman friend of mine that's no longer with us here, and he was a great guitar player and a great songwriter that I, you know, personally respected and listened to, and especially the man himself was just a gentleman, a prince among men. And I just going to say there's a lot of folks that miss Tim Krekel severely, and so do I.
Maybe Texas, maybe Jupiter, who's to know? When you're lonely, reckon memories good to suit her. Her roots down in the hills. There's one heart to these old mountains. There's one light gently shining in the Blue Ridge, smoky sunrise, putting roots down in the hills. I say roots down in the hills. Oh, the silver moonlight passing, dancing fast, everlasting, till the stars a glance may capture, putting roots down in the hills. Their roots down hills. Some melody I must remember in the crowded valley wind. Her voice sings to the evening, putting roots down hills, and roots down in the hills. Maybe Texas, maybe Jupiter, who's to know? When you're lonely, reckon memories, they're good to suit her, putting roots down in the hills, roots down the hills. No, I was just thinking, you know, it's just very humbling, and I was kind of taken aback at not only having a job to do, but I mean, you know, there might be somebody show up, but when I travel around a little bit, it's you know, it's really cool to see people, you know, smiling, and they got most of their teeth. But more importantly, is just the kindness and, you know, the fellowship that is shown to each other, and not just me, but I look around and I watch people how they
treat one another. When I get a little speck of sand, bird's eye view of just how people, treat each other, whether it's your children, whether it's your family or friends. And I haven't seen anybody, I hadn't seen any barroom brawls lately, or I've been very fortunate to experience some, serenity among folks and some kindness. And so this is just another strength that y'all have given me here this evening at Alternate Roots, just to see that, there's some good in the world. It doesn't matter if you're at Shea Stadium or if you're, of course, I couldn't understand what they were singing on the Ed Sullivan Show, that band. But that people wear a white hat on the inside. You just got to kind of get to know them a little bit, Sometimes it gets dingy, but so I feel once again very responsible to try to achieve just a little fraction of the kindness that people show me and show each other. And I'm hopefully some of it will rub off here. I don't know. So that's the feeling that I get here, is like there's just a real solidarity and a camaraderie for a good purpose.
Christmas tree lights burn in the daytime, the sun shines bright in the valley below. The wind cuts through you like memories do, her in the words of December, got no place to go. Prayed on her knees, cried in the bedroom, 81 years left a spark in her eyes. She was ready and willing to die any minute. She tried to help me, Lord knows she tried. What's done has been done in different possessions. Their service a while, soon tossed by the way.